Hi, this is Carolina, the Soul Coach. Welcome to my podcast. Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday Catchup podcast. Yes, another week has gone by. How are you and how has your week been? I hope it's been better than mine because mine has been very odd and I've been up and down emotionally. Honestly, I would love to get to the point of where I take everything in my stride. Oh, that happens. Oh, that's okay. It's all happening for a reason. Oh, that's happened. That's okay. La, 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 la. But instead, I've been up and down, honestly, like a blooming yo-yo. And it's been odd. So let me take you through. So I think I shared last time, Amelia went back to Bali this week. She went back off travelling for a few months. That was really sad, taking her to the airport, dropping her off. And bless, she got really emotional. And they said to her at the checkout, oh, is it just you going? She's like, yeah. She said, this is my mum, and then promptly burst into tears. Bless her. He's like, oh, she just has a little bit of anxiety about travelling. And then the woman taps away on her computer screen and looks at Amelia, and then she talks to her colleague, and she's crying, and the lady was so lovely. She was so reassuring. Amelia, oh, it's okay, and she was being really empathetic and really sweet. I'm trying to hold it together, and then she said, have you booked your onward flight? Because she was going to Malaysia. And Amelia's like, no, I haven't. And blah, blah, blah. And then the lady said, oh, you need to book an ongoing flight. So then Amelia takes it in. She took it all in her stride and she stepped to one side. And the lady said, stay with me, Amelia, but I'm going to serve someone else while you book your flight. Anyway, she did it. And we got through that little hurdle. So all was fine. She said, oh, we can't permit you to fly. And I was thinking, oh, goodness me. But anyway, it was all sorted and it was all fine. And she's got there and she's happy and she's fine and all is well as far as that's concerned. But yeah, that was a little emotional. So yeah, that was funny. I was just wondering whether to share something funny that happened in a coffee shop at the airport. I'm going to share it anyway. And we went to this coffee place, and I'm not going to name which one it was, and the lady behind the counter, after we'd done all this anyway, we need a coffee, and wanted to say goodbye to Amelia and everything else, and Will had sat down, found a seat, and then I went to the counter with Amelia and we ordered, and this lady just wasn't present with us. She was talking to her colleagues. She was just not on it, on her phone. Honestly, no word of a lie, she was on her phone and talking to her colleagues, and they were laughing and joking. And we're this is quite emotional for us. We just want to order our coffees. And we kind of just looked at her. It's are you ready for our order? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And then I was like to Millsy, a bit of presence would be great. Don't you just hate it when you go somewhere and they're just not present? I really have to check in with myself in the shop and check in with everyone else. But honestly, it really gets to me. And then I had my card stamp in my hand, and she turned to make the drinks and then carried on our conversation. And we're standing there. Anyway, I got the stamp and stamped my card up. I may have accidentally put an extra stamp on. But anyway, I felt all right about that. But, the other funny story, just skip forward. That was that. We had a coffees. They were actually really nice. And we managed to get them about 10 minutes later. But another time I went to a coffee shop, because as most of you will know now, I love coffees. We went to another one. And the lady behind the counter that served us gave me an extra stamp. Oh, I felt so bad. So I had to say to another lady, I've been given an extra stamp. And she's like, what? I went, oh, I can't. I'm not happy. So then that was really funny. And she's like, oh, don't worry about an extra stamp. So that was another time. So these stamps, honestly, but I've got a full card now, so I get a free coffee. So that's rather handy from the first place we went to. So funny. So what else happened? I on Wednesday night I did our regular spiritual awareness workshop that we're doing, which is great. There's 10 of us that do it, and it's really lovely. And it was the second week, and it was really nice. And we just started, and I think we were just chatting about how tired we'd all felt and how we haven't been sleeping, and how that had been really affecting our week, and how a lot of us were feeling the same. And we just kind of just embraced it really, but chatting about it and everything else. And then we had such a nice evening where we did some meditations, and we connected to the stillness and connected to our divine, and we gave readings from that stillness place for people. And it was such a beautiful evening. I slept like a baby that night. Honestly, I hope the rest of the group did. I will catch up with them. But honestly, it was the first night I've had a good night's sleep for a while. And it was really nice. Because, of course, when you don't sleep, you feel like it's been going on for months, don't you? But actually, it's probably only a few days. It was just really nice. I had a really good night's sleep till about 6. So I'd been waking up like at 3:30 in the morning. It's so frustrating. But anyway, so that was really cool. It's just so nice, the meditations. And I played the ones from my YouTube channel, the ones I've just recorded. There's a really nice angelic one, and then there's a really lovely golden healing energy meditation, and I played that as well, and it's just so nice. And it was really nice listening to it, not giving it, if that makes sense. So playing it on for my YouTube channel, it was just really nice. It was lovely. So we really all enjoyed that. And then watching everyone giving these awesome messages for people, it was just wonderful. So I've got another one coming up in November if you fancy joining. That was lovely. And I've also, talking about YouTube, done a Ho'oponopono recording as well. So, I've talked about Ho'oponopono, which I'm going to share with you in a minute because I had to really use it this week. So if you just need a little Ho'oponopono meditation reminder, then I would suggest you check it out, because Adam, who I did Living a Life of Magic podcast with, he did the music background for it, and it's amazing. He's made my voice all echoey, so that was good. So what else has been happening this week? Storms. Last 2 nights, the storms. Anybody live near Epsom Downs? Did anybody nearly jump out of bed on those 2 thunderclaps? Oh my goodness me, it was so loud, wasn't it? But someone came in today from Kingston and said they didn't hear it. But certainly Epsom, and the other lady was from Chesington, they heard it, and it was just so loud. But I love a good thunderstorm, but I was too tired to look out for the lightning, but apparently it was amazing. Did you see it? I just love a good storm. Have I told you the funny story about when do you remember we were renting our little cabin out up at Box Hill? And we were sitting out having a glass of fizz, and we could see a thunderstorm over in the distance, over the south coast, and we could see it. And we actually watched this whole storm come around. So it came all down the south coast, came around, and we could just watch it. We watched it all the way, and then it started coming towards us, and we could see it. We're still sitting out there, okay, and then it's getting closer and closer, so we kind of move inside. We're looking out at it, and then we saw a fault lightning. This was a few years ago, and we saw a fault lightning come down on the ground, and I was like, wow, it was getting closer and closer and closer, louder and louder, and so much so that I actually got under the bed covers. I literally thought I was going to die that night. The storm was so loud. It was so over the top of us. And the fact that we watched it all the way through. Will's still watching it. And he's like, fine. He's watching it. It's coming closer. I'm under the covers I'm so scared. And even though I love storms, I just literally thought we were going to get struck by lightning. Having seen this fault lightning come down just in front of us. Anyway, next thing I know, Will's come and joined me under the covers, and we kind of hold it out under there, waiting for the storm to pass. Oh, such a state. Honestly, I really was. It was petrifying. And not only that, Will had the sense to turn the electrics off, and there was a loud bang. I'm so glad that we had turned the electrics off, but goodness knows what the loud bang was. I think it was something to do with the fuses or something. I don't know. But we survived, and we're here to tell the tale. And I'm sure you've got a storm tale. I'm sure you have. I wish you could share it. I wish we could somehow share these stories, because I love hearing people's stories. I think it's great. So yeah, that was petrifying. And do you remember the hurricane in the 80s? And Will and I hid under the covers that night as well, thinking, oh, it's a bit windy out, and we thought the windows were going to like come in on us, and we hid under the covers. What was that? Was it 1987 when Michael Fish said, "Oh, I can reassure you there was going to be no storm, no hurricanes tonight." And of course, yeah, I think it was 87. What were you doing then? We were busy. Oh my goodness me, we were busy under the covers. No, we weren't. We were in the middle of the night, and we weren't busy at all. What did I mean by that? I just meant we were under the covers hiding from the storm, trying to go to sleep. That's what I meant. Honestly, I did. I'm so embarrassed now. I'm going pink. Okay, let's move on. So, yeah, the storms were quite amazing. I don't know. I really want to sound off this week. Honestly, I really do. I tell you what, it's really interesting because as lots of you will know, I've done loads of work on myself, and I continue to work on myself, and I'm clearing, regular therapy sessions. I check in with myself, have such a great tribe, and we chat about stuff and everything else. And we're human beings, aren't we? We're all here to be a human being and enjoy being a human being life. And we know those challenges are there to help us grow. But I had a real challenge on Friday, a real challenge. I received a load of invoices from a leasing company on Friday morning. And I was so shocked because there was like 6 invoices from this leasing company. And I wasn't expecting it. And I was expecting a couple of the invoices, but I wasn't expecting 2 other invoices. And I'm like, what is going on here? And kind of try and understand what was going on. And basically, we have been with a telecom company for 17 years, and we've stayed with the same one. We've been really happy with them, but they've just been not very helpful recently, so we thought we would change, and we went with this kind of other company. And I had a salesman come, which is very unusual for me. I don't usually let someone come and do a sales spiel, but I was so impressed with the telesales guy. I really like this sales guy. And then he sells to us, and we're like, oh yeah, love it. Set our phones up, it's all brilliant. I'm so happy with it. It was really good, and they were so nice, the engineers and everything. And then we get this out the blue invoices, and the sales guy didn't tell us that we were going to receive these blooming extra invoices. And I went into major overwhelm. I went into a major fear. I just was so angry as well that we'd been sold to, and he hadn't told us the full truth, and really shocking. So I phone up, and I'm in a state at this point, and I should have learned my lesson, never to talk to anyone when you're in an emotional state. But I just did it straight away. I'm like, I have to do it there and then because I'm very much a do it now. And I tried to keep calm. And the lady on the phone just kept saying that we've signed the contract, and we've signed the contract. And you're like, but that's not helping me right now. We weren't expecting this. We hadn't been told it. We've been misadvised. We hadn't even whatever. And I can feel my anxieties going up a notch. And then I'm like, well, I'm putting a complaint in, and I need you to register my complaint. And then I phoned the hire company up, and this man on the phone, this lease company, this man on the phone, he was so calm and so reassuring. And I just burst into tears, and I'm crying down the phone. Harriet's going, "What's the matter, Mum? What's the matter?" Alison came in and handed me a tissue, and I'm beside myself just crying down the phone to this poor man on the other end of the phone who was going, and I'm going, "I can't talk right now, I'm really upset." And he's going, "I can hear that." And he's being lovely. He goes, "You just write a letter of complaint." I'm like, "I'm going to." So the next thing, I'm writing this letter, writing this down and send it off and feel better. I do feel better. I did feel better by doing that. But it affected me. I was so drained. I was so tired. And I'm like, it had just overtaken me, and I completely forgot everything. I completely forgot about Ho'oponopono. I completely forgot to breathe. I completely forgot everything. Literally 3 hours it took for me to sort all of this out. And then I remembered, oh, Carolina, do your Ho'oponopono. So I started doing that. Just keep breathing. So I kept breathing. I kept doing all of that. And eventually I calmed myself down, sorted myself out. And by the next morning, I felt a lot better. But I get an email. So this guy on the phone said he would report it to the customer, to the customer team, thinking he would send it to the telecom company. He didn't. He sent it to the lease customer service. So then I get this blooming email from the lease company. Oh, anyway, it's a very boring story, blah, 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 blah. And she's just saying, "You need to refer to the telecom company." I'm like, "Yes, I wasn't complaining to you. You've done nothing wrong." So then I've got in touch. I found the managing director's email and I've complained to him. And I still watch this space on this complaint. But my whole point of sharing this was, isn't it amazing how quick we can come out of centre, and how important it is to recognise when we come out of centre? And I am telling myself this, and I need to breathe, and I need to do my Ho'oponopono, and I need to do that and calm myself down before going into a conversation, because it doesn't help. It didn't help my mental health. It didn't help my emotional equilibrium, and it certainly didn't help my makeup that day. What a state. So I haven't got an outcome for you. I don't know what the next bit of the story is going to be, but I will let you know. But I did learn, and hopefully I will be able to implement these things that I need to learn from it. But oh my goodness me, how quick it is that we fall into that. So so that was my Friday. God breathe. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. And I think there's a bigger lesson here as well about not letting people in for this big sales thing. And he was so nice and so charming and just said things, but he just forgot to mention there was a £140 fee. And the fact that he didn't tell us that because he could reduce the price, we had to pay an upfront fee on top of the admin fee. Honestly, it's shocking. I need to move on. I'm going to move on now and breathe. Thank you for listening. Just a bit of a sound off, and I will name and shame if they don't sort this out, and I am taking it to the ombudsman because it's outrageous. And coming from a sales background at Prudential, you would never do that, and you would be raked over the coals if you did that. And of course, the whole point of doing the whole exercise was also to try and save some money. And all it's done is cost us so much money, because all the savings we've made, it will be paid all in these upfront costs. And of course, we would never have done that had we known. Okay, thanks for listening. Rant over. Gonna move on. Lesson learned and all that. The week did get better. So the next day I had a day off on a Saturday, which is very rare for me. Normally I work on a Saturday, but this Saturday I had it off, so that was nice. We went to see our friends Scott and Nicola, and you may have already watched the Living a Life of Magic videos that I recorded with them, and it was really good to see them. So Will and I drove over, and yeah, we had a really good morning. Scott cooked us a delicious breakfast. It was so nice, and it was good to catch up on all their successes and all their stories, because we haven't seen them for a while, and it just felt so good, and we felt really good after we left there, and I know they felt great as well. We were going to go and walk the dogs, but it was raining, unfortunately, but never mind, it didn't matter. It was just really nice to catch up. So great to see them. And also they had been having sort of similar feelings really about what we've been saying about feeling a bit tired, and just especially Scott was just feeling a bit bleh, and it's just been one of those weeks. How's it been for you? Has it been a bit blur, or have you had a good week? Has it been successful for you? What have you been up to? I think it's really good just to reflect on your week, isn't it? And to think about what went well, what didn't go well, and to take it forward into the next week. I think it's important to do that. So what's coming up next week? Oh, I didn't talk about today. So today was Sunday and I was working in the shop. Really nice to see some of you. And it was quite quiet. And then it got really busy this afternoon, which I was grateful for. And then there's a fire alarm. So it was about 3:45, and then we get the fire alarm. And first of all, you kind of think, is this a test? And then there's no test, and then people are starting to leave, and then you realise it's the real thing. And then you have to evacuate the Ashley Centre. And luckily we've been practising on what to do. So that was unfortunate. There was apparently a fire. It was all contained and it was all fine, and everybody was great, and we opened up about 4:10. So it must have been about 3:30, 24. It was about 40 minutes we were shut, but that was great excitement. However, we were just getting really busy and then that happened, and then of course we could open for the last 15 minutes, but most people had gone home. But at least everybody was safe and nothing bad had happened, and it was good to put something in practice for real, and that's what all procedures are for, isn't it? But a lady asked me, we're clearing out the Ashley Centre, and then a lady said to me, she said, oh, I've got to go back to Marks and Spencer's, I left my crutch there. I'm like, you can't. There's a fire. You're gonna have to wait. I'm really sorry, but you can't go back into the Ashley Centre that's, just potentially had a fire, because at this point we didn't know where it was. And then there was an employee of another store, which I won't mention, taking a lady, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I had to take it 5 times until penny finally dropped that they couldn't go into the Ashley Centre. Oh my goodness me. But anyway, all was good. It was all dealt with really quickly, and the fire brigade came, and it was all fine. It was really good, and I just thought the Ashley Centre dealt with it really well, and just a couple of funny stories. But so that was that. And then this week, I'm going to keep calm. Whatever happens, I'm going to keep calm. I'm really, really excited about tomorrow. I am interviewing a friend of mine called Amel Amin, who I've known for many, many years. He's an actor friend, and we know each other because our next door neighbour was TJ Ramini, who was in the Bill and has been in CSI Miami, I think it is, and he's been in 24 and he's been in loads of things. He's friends with Amel Amin. And then we met when we were out in LA, and I've been following his life and seeing his successes, and I'm going to be interviewing him about living a life of magic tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. Can't wait. Scott's going to come and be cameraman for me, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. So I'm a little bit nervous going up to London. I've booked a room and going to record a super duper podcast. I've got some great questions to ask him. And I actually read his palms about 7 years ago, I think. And you'll have to tune in to see what happened, because it was a really interesting reading. And what I said has now passed. So I can't wait to see him actually. So that's going to be great. The other thing I'm looking forward to this week is we've been the last couple of weeks clearing out our loft, and we're about 70% done, and we nearly have an empty loft. And I've dreamt for 20 odd years of having a clear loft, and we are very nearly at the end. I don't know if we'll quite achieve it this week, but over the next couple of weeks, our loft is going to be clear. Literally clear. We have cleared quite a lot out. Few bin bags of rubbish, few recycling, few charity. Feels so good, because of course the loft space is all about where you're heading. It's like your fame, your illumination. It's like the inspirational part. And so our loft has undergone some changes over the years, but it's always been chocker. So to actually be clearing it out is amazing. And it's mainly the children's stuff, even though they're not children now, but it's still full of their things. So, well, it's not anymore because we've cleared that all out, and it's sitting in one of our bedrooms at the moment. But we're doing it. So I can't wait to share that with you. And why didn't I do a before and after picture? Oh, I didn't even think about it. I literally did not think about it. That would have been amazing, because I promise you it was chocker. Next week, or this week or next week, I've got to go through all the Christmas stuff and do a bit of a clear out on that. But there really isn't much more. Empty boxes. It's interesting how many iPad boxes we've got. And apparently you can sell them on eBay. I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And whatever else next week brings, let's see what happens. Hugely grateful for you. Thank you for listening. And let's just do a very quick meditation. Closing your eyes if you want to, taking a breath in. Breathing out and knowing only this moment matters. We're not our past. We're not our future. We are just here right now, bringing everything to this moment. Reclaiming all your energy from your week right here into this moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Nowhere else for you to be. Nothing else for you to do. Just take this time to come into this moment. Imagine a beautiful beam of energy coming through your crown, down through the middle of your entire body and out through your feet. And allowing that beam of beautiful energy, that light, just imagine it radiating out through the middle of your body. From the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, warming you, clearing you, re-energizing you. All is well. Asking for anything that's not serving your highest purpose, be absorbed by this light. transforming it into something that is serving your higher purpose. Allow it to radiate love and happiness, prosperity, whatever you'd like to radiate. Allow it to energize all those parts of you that need energizing. And then thinking about those people that you love, just bring them to your mind right now and just send thoughts of love to them. Maybe see you wrapping your arms around them, giving them love and strength. Take good care of yourself and have a great week. Take care. Bye.